So next, I like to look at the opportunity that all of these changes for networking creates and how a networking professional can evolve. So one thing is we all know that networking is involved in everything. So knowing networking makes it easier to pivot to other specializations. And then also with all these changes, if a network professional goes out and pretty much adapt to these changes instead of just, you don't want to sit there and let the time pass you by, but you want to start adapting to some of these changes. That way you're familiar with automation. You're a little bit familiar with AI. I'm not saying you got to be the best at either one of them, but you're familiar with all of those aspects. You're familiar with the changes that's happening in your environment with networking. So I think by doing this, it's going to make that person stand out, because with this, like I said, you're going to have less competition, and also there's a higher demand for those folks. So with fewer people getting into networking, it's going to create that high demand with less competition. And then as one evolves into some of these networking roles, where, okay, you might have to know a little bit of programming. You might have to know some Python. But the more that you learn to evolve that networking role, I think the more it's going to end up making you stand out. So like I said, one of the opportunities that it creates is by in networking, less people getting in, less competition. Then also with the evolving role of a network engineer, we're getting into where we start seeing a higher demand for those folks where, you're looking for somebody with some programmability skills. You're looking for someone that may have a little bit of cloud skills. You're looking for someone that may end up having some network security skills. So I think that's going to end up being the network engineer for the future. I know as I look around on Indeed, a lot of networking roles already, they're looking for somebody with those qualities or someone with those skill sets. You see a lot of, if you look at a network engineer role, you'll see where a lot of times they may ask that you have some Palo Alto experience. They may ask that you have some Fortinet experience. So I think this is going to create the opportunity for that network engineer or that network professional to evolve in this networking realm and kind of start branching out a little bit, advancing their skill set in other areas, but still their main area will be in this networking role. And then like I touched on earlier, like I said, I think learning these skills will make a network professional evolve in their current role and also stand out to be way more marketable. Because like I said, as you start looking around, you see different positions that they may be asking for some Python experience, some Ansible experience, some Terraform experience. They also, may want you to know some cloud networking. So like I said, that would be a good proponent to go to, especially if you're used to traditional networking like myself. So one of my goals this year is, like I said, to start exploring out into the cloud, because I realized that, okay, the cloud is here to stay. It's not no fly by night thing. It's a real thing. So I think that for me, from this aspect, I'm mostly a networking person. I'm mostly traditional networking. So it would be in my best interest to start to venture out and explore some networking within the cloud. I already have the networking proponent, so just learning that cloud aspect and how that goes along inside of that cloud environment. So then getting familiar with some software-defined networking, some SD-WAN, getting a little Python under your belt, getting a little Ansible, a little Terraform. I think all of that will make that network engineer or that network professional evolve and stand out and become more marketable as well as more valuable. So at the end of the day, is networking dead? Not at all, my friend.